Welcome back to update number 12. Got a couple things done. Did take a little time off and I went out and did some car things. But a friend of mine stopped by and he said he was out at a yard sale, thought of me, and picked up this Tichy Train Group Rotary snowplow. So I'm looking forward to building that. I think it'll be a nice addition to the layout. So going to put that together. Also been looking around for detailed parts. I'm just kind of at that point with my layout. Build some platforms and add some tanks and this and that. I came across online store. It's called Shapeway. I'll put the information down in the comments. And 3D printing, amazing what they're doing today. This somebody's found their little niche now. Have quite a few different scales that they do produce. And so I was kind of looking for some ladders. Hopefully this comes out okay. So some ladders and railings. They have anything from piping to barrels, just about anything that you want in the scale that you want. They have it there. Prices are a little bit up, but it's kind of nice to find the detail part that you want, or if you want to build that pipe rack, or if you need fire hydrants, they're there in the 1/60th scale. So. We've got that. I'll post that down in the comments. But project I've got going right now is kind of get the servo motors ready for the decouplers. So we're gonna make some brackets for those and start getting those installed. And we'll take a quick tour here and kind of show you what I've done. So, hey, we finally got the control panel completed. And the LEDs in, although I see I've already got one that's not working. Must have got maybe a little bit too much heat with the soldering iron. These are actually to control the uncouplers, so it actually powers a servo. Just got done cutting all the slots for the magnetic uncouplers. Now that slot will fit this in there, and that will be controlled by a little brass T, which I have one made up over here. And I put that together with this is just a 1/4 inch flat stock. I think it's 25 thousandths thick, 7/32 and some 1/4 inch. The 1/4 inch is the tube that fits down in that hole and will allow that piece to slide up and down, keeping it in one position. Once I get that built, then it's just a case of taking the magnetic uncoupler and put a slight film of silicone on it, put those together, make sure it lines up in the hole, and let that set up. Here I have one that's completed, put together, and that will just drop down in there. Let's see if we can, and drop in there, and then once the servo starts working it'd be raised and lowered in the end there. It's controlled by a servo, little micro servo. I took a piece of 3/4 inch wood. I couldn't find any brackets to hold these things, so just made my own, and that'll go underneath to raise and lower. To cut that slot, I made up a block of wood, put a groove through here, the width of the tracks, Dremel tool. It's like a 1/4 inch cutting bit that they have. It came in the set. It just happened to fit right down between the tracks. And that extends about a little bit over a 1/4 inch, not quite 3/8 of an inch deep. And that's what I run back and forth through here to clean that slot out. When we're making the brass tee, I took a piece of wood and cut a 1/4-inch slot in it to hold my piece of flat stock, brass flat stock in there. And the 7/32 tubing, I found a drill bit that fit very tightly inside of that by using my drill press to hold that in position while I applied solder on the two sides of it there. Let that cool, and you have yourself a brass tee. Been working on the rotary snow plow and getting a little bit of the rusty parts painted up. Got the cab built. I'm going to start painting the rest of this out and get some of the other parts ready for that. The one thing I'm looking for is they do supply some trucks. I guess it's pretty much supposed to be static, just to leave it sit. I would actually like to get it to pull. I guess I have to go to my local hobby shop and see what kind of body-mounted couplers I can find that will work on this model. And I'd even like to put some regular trucks on it than their trucks, but to be able to push this around the layout. Finished up the rotary snowplow. Kind of added it to my Canadian National collection, my freestyle of putting this together. These rotary snowplows had a tender, and sad to say they do not offer a tender kit to go along with this. The other one, the coupling system on it, I need to find a way to be able to add a coupler that I want to put on there, and I can push it around the track. So it does roll very freely. It may change the trucks out, I'm not sure. But anyway, that project is completed. It was fun to do. I was surprised how easy it was to go together. Started working with the building fronts, cleaned them up and getting them ready to paint. I've got a couple. This one here, I see how a lot of guys use Rust-Oleum, and I'm not really quite sure I like the way that one came out, but we'll work with that. This one over here is done with acrylics. I think I'm going to stick with acrylics. So get these storefronts. I've got to take a few more measurements downtown to see how far away the sidewalk and the buildings are from the tracks, and then I'll cut the sides down. So this will be a work in progress, probably for the next update or two. And this will bring update number 12 to a close. A couple of little following comments. So I was down at the local hobby shop, and Tamiya Paints, I think that's how you pronounce it. Kind of a new brand in that shop. I don't know if they've been out or if this is something brand new or not. I picked up a couple different colors and used them. I'm not sure if I'm 100% thrilled about them. I noticed that they dry very, very quickly, but you might give me your opinion if you've been using these at all. Thanks to Joe, gentleman stopped by for the rotary snowplow and donating that, letting me work on that and getting it completed. And something else, Ken Patterson puts out a monthly train blog, really some good stuff. Well, they've gone to a weekly show also. They just sit around and chat about the way things run, their ideas on different layouts and whatever. Answer a lot of questions. So give it a try. Lots of good information there from Ken. So anyway, other than that, we'll go run some trains. Thank you very much for stopping by, and appreciate your comments. You have a great day.